let me remind you what a depression is. It's the utter exhaustion caused by worrying too much and then dreaming too much. So you wake up tired and you get lost in this vicious circle where nothing you can do works, and so you find yourself getting further and further lost. And I've talked about this before, so think about your situation. Is the early mornings the worst time of day for you? Because then you are depressed. Now, another way of seeing this is to understand how depressed people talk about their depression and how they explain it. And as I talk to my depressed clients, the words that I use that I find really resonate with my clients. My clients feel that their head is exploding. Their mind is full of thoughts, full of worries, ruminating, going round and round, and they cannot escape. It's an exhausting, terrifying state. A client I know talked about being lost and stuck in a burning room with no exits, because your mind, you cannot escape your mind. You can walk out of the room you find yourself in just by opening the door and leaving, but you cannot escape your mind. And if you cannot escape your mind, then that truly is a terrifying state. Others talk about a treadmill that they just can't get off, round and round and round. And there are many clients who just become obsessed with suicide, because suicide seems the only way to escape from this treadmill, from this burning room. And so they become obsessed with suicide, and they cannot think of anything else but suicide. And that adds to the terror, because they know that there is a better way, but they cannot think of a better way. Another quote, this is another client told me this, and I think this is a lovely way of putting it. She said that she felt that she was like a car that was flooded with petrol. And she just went phut and came to a stop. And she couldn't move. It's lovely, isn't it? Well, awful to experience, but you can really understand it. And finally, let me quote from a recent client who wrote to me this after she had recovered about how her depression was for her. And I think it's a beautiful way of describing it, so I will just describe it now. I can't control my emotions or keep them where they can help me. I feel saturated in them, exhausted, and no other part of me is getting a look in. So I just cannot help myself. Like the petrol, isn't it? It's like the burning room. Does that make sense to you? You're waking up exhausted in the morning, you're worrying too much, and all you can do to deal with it is worry more, and it's useless worrying. If your mind is full up and exhausted and saturated and you can do nothing, then you won't be living a life that works for you. Some big aspect of your life will be going wrong. Maybe your work is going very bad, or you've stopped work, or maybe your partner is so overwhelmed by your depression that he or she cannot help you, or perhaps your partner has walked out and left you, or perhaps you're feeling sick so you can't really do anything to look after yourself. And that is always the second sign. Some part of your life is not working. It is that and the depression and exhaustion from a mind out of control. These are the two signs of depression.